Hollywood's glitz and grandeur conceal a stark reality. The darker side of fame frequently results in severe legal repercussions for certain celebrities. This is an examination of the authentic narratives of celebrities who have encountered legal complications. Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic, the protagonist of the popular Netflix series Tiger King, has been incarcerated since the premiere of the show in 2020 due to a variety of charges against him. Joe had been accused of mistreating the animals in his wildlife park for years, and animal rights activist Carol Baskin had long advocated for Joe to cancel his traveling performances. Joe's online threats against her escalated as their animosity intensified, culminating in an attempted assassination. In 2017, he attempted to contract 2 hitmen to kill Carol, only to discover that he had been conversing with an undercover FBI agent. Joe was apprehended after the FBI investigation. He was found guilty of 9 counts of violating the Endangered Species Act and 8 counts of violating the Lacey Act for falsifying wildlife records, as well as attempting to contract someone to murder Carol, all in court. Although he has made numerous attempts to secure a pardon, he is currently serving a 22-year sentence in prison. Amy Locane. Amy Locane, the heroine of Melrose Place, is currently serving her 2nd sentence following her fatal DUI charge in 2010. The charge was the result of an accident in which she collided with another vehicle while under the influence. Amy's initial sentence was 3 years in prison for vehicular homicide and assault. She was released in 2015. Her sentencing was re-evaluated the following year as a result of the court's belief that the explanation for leniency was insufficient. Amy was ultimately sentenced to an additional 8 years in New Jersey State Prison after a judge concurred with prosecutors that her initial sentence was exceedingly lenient, following years of legal disputes regarding her potential return to jail. R. Kelly. R. Kelly was arrested in 2019 on a variety of federal charges, including sex trafficking and child pornography, which were a result of his relationship with 5 juveniles in the 1990s. The allegations against the musician resurfaced after alleged victims spoke out in the miniseries Surviving R. Kelly, even though he had been acquitted of child pornography charges in 2008. The new charges allege that R. Kelly encountered 5 juveniles between the ages of 12 and 17, and that 4 of the girls were depicted engaging in sexual activities with him. R. Kelly was convicted of 9 counts of sex trafficking and racketeering in New York when the case was brought to trial. Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, a disgraced producer, is presently serving a prison sentence for years of sexual harassment of numerous women in Hollywood. Since the initial allegations against Harvey were made, dozens of women have come forward, including celebrities such as Rose McGowan, Mira Sorvino, and Salma Hayek. These victims allege that they were subjected to a variety of forms of harassment, including sexual advances that were intimidating and violent, as well as threats to their careers if they did not comply. Harvey's case was ultimately tried in 2020, following his detention in 2018. He was extradited to Los Angeles the following year, where he was confronted with accusations from a woman who claimed that he had assaulted her at a film festival in 2013. He was found guilty of 1 count of rape and 2 counts of sexual assault and was subsequently sentenced to an additional 16 years. Tory Lanez. In 2020, rapper Tory Lanez fatally shot Megan Thee Stallion as they exited a party in Hollywood. The couple had been in an intimate relationship at the time, and a dispute arose when Megan decided not to return home with Tory. Tory shot Megan in the foot as she attempted to flee. Megan was accused of lying by a significant number of individuals on social media in the subsequent months. Megan emotionally recollected the events of that night during the trial in 2022. Tory was convicted of 3 felony charges: assault with a semi-automatic handgun, having a loaded and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and gross neglect in discharging his firearm. He was sentenced to a term of 10 years in prison. Jared Fogle. Jared Fogle, the former spokesperson for Subway, has been incarcerated for more than 7 years, serving a sentence associated with child pornography. In 2015, he was convicted of possessing child pornography and crossing state lines to pay for sex with juveniles. The judge sentenced him to over 15 years in federal prison and ordered him to pay $1.4 million in restitution to 14 victims. Jared has maintained his prominence in the media since his incarceration. He was assaulted by a fellow inmate in 2016. He wrote a letter from prison more recently, in which he expressed that he had royally screwed up and was selfish and entitled. In 2029, he will be eligible for parole. Jen Shah. Jen Shah, the protagonist of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, is currently serving time for her involvement in a nationwide telemarketing scheme that targeted numerous elderly and working-class individuals. Upon her arrest in 2021, a press release from Homeland Security disclosed that she had defrauded hundreds of individuals by selling lead lists for fictitious business opportunities. Jen was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison after pleading guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud during her trial in March 2022. Additionally, she was required to forfeit $6,500,000, 30 luxury items, and 78 counterfeit luxury items, in addition to paying $6,645,251. Josh Duggar. Josh Duggar, the former protagonist of 19 Kids and Counting, has been the subject of numerous scandals in the past decade, culminating in charges of child pornography. In 2019, Homeland Security investigated Josh's car dealership and discovered recordings of child sex abuse that were traceable to Josh's IP address. Josh was subsequently apprehended and convicted of child pornography offenses in 2021. He is presently serving a 12.5-year prison sentence. He must also register as a sex offender, serve 20 years of supervised release, and pay $50,000 in penalties. Chrisley and Todd Chrisley. After being accused of defrauding banks by obtaining millions in loans based on false financial documents, Todd and Chrisley were found guilty of numerous federal charges in 2022. The Chrisley Knows Best actors were placed on house arrest and charged with bank fraud and tax evasion. Todd was sentenced to 12 years in prison, while Julie was sentenced to 7. Their sentences were issued several months later. The couple was incarcerated in 2023 and have since had their release date accelerated. Todd's prison release was postponed until January 22, 2033, which is 2 years earlier than his original 2035 release date. Julie's release is scheduled for October 19, 2028, which is 1 year and 3 months earlier than her initial release date. In conclusion, the narratives of these celebrities serve as a stark reminder that fame and affluence do not protect one from the repercussions of unlawful behavior. Their tales continue to incite discussions regarding accountability, redemption, and the influence of fame on personal behavior as they serve their sentences. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your support means a lot, and it helps us keep bringing you awesome content. Thanks for watching.